Hey there YouTube, guess what time it is? That's right, completely arbitrary thing I just made up called Awkward Story Time. This is where I gather awkward stories from my friends and commenters and then anonymously publish them on the internet and then mix in one of my own for each story that you give me. Which, now I think about it, is probably a really bad idea. This first one was a message over Facebook. It reads, my dad came home whilst I was in the middle of fucking someone. It was the nearest I'd ever come to getting busted. Apparently they both got dressed as quickly as possible while he was walking through the front door. The boyfriend ran to the living room whilst the father wasn't looking, and she walked out like a smooth criminal. Afterwards, the boyfriend went to the bathroom to put on the boxers and shirt that he'd left behind. Wow, that's pretty close to getting busted, and considering her father thinks that she's like this innocent, virgin model person, not really doing this very well, am I? But speaking of getting busted, I can top that one. See, whilst I was in the bedroom with my boyfriends, as you do, my family knows I'm out and such, and one of them knocked on the door, and apparently fuck off wasn't a big enough hint to fuck off. So they came in. Luckily we were under the covers, and I was on top of him, and it was obvious what we were doing, and yet still, my brother stayed to ask me what I wanted for lunch, if I wanted to hang out later. Ah, my god, that was so awkward. That he wouldn't fuck off. And I realise now that, yep, every story I have is about sex. Except one. So, yeah, let's get to that. This one was yet another message over Facebook. It reads, when I was 19 I used to visit my girlfriend at her house every Tuesday, which is fair enough. Both of us were utterly insatiable. I'm having a hard time keeping this out of the outtakes. So we were going at it a couple of hours each time. I'm a huge fan of oral stimulation, so I would go down her sometimes 20 or 30 minutes at a time to see how loud I could get her to orgasm. Oh god, obviously this one isn't one of the non-sex ones. One time she's reaching climax and she has to pull a pillow over her face, and from the other side of the wall, out of absolutely nowhere, we hear her stepdad yelling, "Stop fucking! I'm tired of hearing this shit at my house, go do something else." I just stop mid-lick, my face is beet red and I'm about to cry. Do any of my friends have any awkward stories that aren't related directly to sex and being caused by some kind of stepfather? Because that's pretty bad. But at least, he knows what she's doing, and obviously he's alright with it as long as he isn't hearing it every 30 seconds. Not 30 seconds, 30 minutes? Yeah, I think he said 30 minutes. He's mine in return, and it's sort of not a sex story. I was sleeping over my boyfriend's house, and his parents don't know he's out, and they were away for the weekend and coming back the next morning. That was fine, we could get away with that. I convinced him that since, he only has a single bed and they had a double and they wouldn't be sleeping in it, we should just sleep in their bed because it'd be way more comfortable. My blood pressure had a completely different idea, and I know what you're thinking right now, and I should have worded that differently, but this is not going in the outtakes because I had 18 different takes and I am not doing it again. So, we lay down to sleep, we turn off all the lights, it's, we're cuddling, it's very nice, it's all relaxing, we're about to go to sleep, and then I get a nosebleed. A big one. We have to change the entire bedspread because there's just the blood everywhere, the pillows, the underlined, it was horrible, and this was at 2 in the morning, so we had to stay up all morning cleaning those sheets and putting them back and then rearranging them, making sure they're alright, so the parents didn't know anything had happened, because if they did, I'd have way too many questions, and oh god. Obviously my boyfriend is a gentleman and pretty awesome, so he let me go to sleep about 2:30 in the morning while he stayed up and changed our bed sheets. When he got to bed, he looked pretty much like death warmed up, and then cooled down, and then kicked a few times, and then as if somebody had just bled all over his parents' bed. We got away with it, well, yeah, scot-free, except a few nights sleep that we didn't quite catch up on. But yeah, that's one of my awkward stories. I still haven't told you the most awkward and most recent one, so if you want to know, then leave a comment with your most awkward story, and yeah, I'll share that bit of insight with you, out of my world. Thank you for watching, thank you for sharing your, sexcapades. If you have any that aren't related to sex, please tell me that you have them. You don't even have to tell me the story, just that you have an awkward story that isn't related to sex, because Jesus, All of my friends are terrible. Anyway, yes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. What the hell? Oh, that's better. Yes. As a bonus bit at the end of this video, I will not turn my tongue upside down. I'm quite proud of that. Probably shouldn't be.